Most people underestimate how powerful clear thinking can be. But the Stoics developed a way of understanding the world that can make you sharper, calmer, and almost dangerously insightful. Today, you'll discover 8 ruthless Stoic lessons that can transform the way you think. Stoicism is one of the most practical philosophies ever created. It doesn't depend on rituals, complicated theories, or unrealistic ideals. Instead, it focuses on understanding what you can control, strengthening your mind, and approaching life with clarity. The Stoics believe that wisdom isn't something you collect, it's something you practice. And some of their ideas are surprisingly direct, challenging, and even uncomfortable. These lessons were meant to toughen the mind, sharpen perception, and help individuals navigate a world that can be unpredictable and sometimes harsh. In this video, we'll explore 8 of the most powerful Stoic principles. Each one contains a form of mental discipline that can change the way you react, decide, and interpret what happens around you. Whether you're dealing with stress, uncertainty, or difficult people, these lessons can help you build a stronger and more resilient mindset. Let's get started. Lesson 1: Control what you can, ignore what you can't. The foundation of Stoic thinking is the idea that you should only focus your energy on what you can control. Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoic teachers, explained that most of the emotional suffering people experience comes from trying to influence things that are completely outside their power. This includes the actions of others, their opinions, random events, and even the outcomes of your own efforts. The Stoics taught that you can control your choices, your reactions, and the attitude you bring to each situation. Everything else is noise. This principle is ruthless because it requires you to let go of things you may desperately want to fix or change. It forces you to confront the limits of your influence and accept that outcomes cannot always be predicted. But when you shift your focus, your mental clarity increases dramatically. You stop expecting the world to behave a certain way and instead concentrate on your own behavior. This not only reduces stress, but also makes you more effective. When your energy is directed only toward the things you can genuinely influence, your decisions become sharper and your actions more intentional. Lesson 2: Treat your emotions as information, not commands. The Stoics did not teach people to eliminate emotions. Instead, they encouraged individuals to observe their emotions with distance, as if they were data rather than orders. Marcus Aurelius wrote extensively about the importance of noticing emotions without immediately obeying them. Often, when people feel anger, fear, or anxiety, they treat these feelings as signals requiring immediate action. The Stoics warned against this. Emotions can be misleading, exaggerated, or based on assumptions rather than reality. By treating emotions like information, you gain control over your decisions. You can determine whether an emotion is justified, useful, or distorted. This approach makes you more rational and less reactive. This lesson is ruthless because it removes the excuse of "I couldn't help it" from your behavior. The Stoics believe that you are always responsible for the actions you take, even if you're emotional. By developing emotional awareness without emotional obedience, you become clearer, calmer, and far more intelligent in your decision-making. Lesson 3: You become smarter by questioning your first impressions. The Stoics emphasize that human beings often misinterpret situations because they rely too heavily on their first impressions. Seneca warned that the mind tends to exaggerate threats, amplify insults, and jump to conclusions. To counter this, the Stoics practiced pausing before reacting. Instead of assuming their initial judgment was correct, they examined the situation objectively. This included asking questions like, "What evidence do I really have? Am I projecting fears or assumptions? How would this look from someone else's point of view?" This approach sharpens your intellect because it forces you to distinguish between reality and interpretation. First impressions may be emotionally charged, but they are rarely accurate. This lesson is ruthless because it challenges your ego. It asks you to admit that your instincts can be wrong and that your thinking is often influenced by biases. But by regularly questioning your first thoughts, you develop a habit of deeper reasoning and clearer judgment. Lesson 4: Accept discomfort as a path to strength. Stoicism teaches that comfort does not build character, difficulty does. The Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort to prepare for life's challenges. This included fasting, exposure to cold, physical exercise, and moments of deliberate inconvenience. The purpose was not to suffer but to strengthen resilience. By embracing discomfort, the Stoics learned not to fear it. They understood that avoiding discomfort makes you weaker, while facing it makes you more capable. Modern life encourages constant comfort, immediate entertainment, fast food, instant communication. But comfort can dull your mind and your discipline. This lesson is ruthless because it demands personal responsibility and effort. It requires stepping outside your comfort zone on purpose. But by doing so, you train yourself to remain calm and effective under pressure. You become stronger in situations where others become overwhelmed. Lesson 5, don't chase approval, chase excellence. One of the most repeated Stoic principles is the idea that seeking others' approval is a trap. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that people have their own motivations, biases, and flaws, and their opinions are often inconsistent or uninformed. If you base your decisions on external validation, you lose control of your life. The Stoics believe that your worth should come from your actions, your effort, and your alignment with your values. Chasing excellence means focusing on what you can improve rather than how you are perceived. It also means accepting that criticism and misunderstanding are part of doing meaningful work. This lesson is ruthless because it removes the comfort of social approval. Instead, it asks you to act with integrity regardless of who notices. Over time, this mindset makes you more independent, confident, and intellectually grounded. Lesson 6, focus on character, not circumstances. Circumstances are unpredictable. The Stoics experienced wars, political turmoil, exile, and loss. Yet they believe that one thing always remains within your control, your character. Character is built through habits, decisions, and values. Circumstances simply reveal it. When things go well, character determines whether you become arrogant or grateful. When things go badly, character determines whether you panic or persevere. This lesson is ruthless because it rejects excuses. The Stoics argued that external conditions do not determine your inner state. Your behavior and mindset remain your responsibility. This principle encourages a deeper sense of self-discipline and self-awareness. By cultivating character, through honesty, self-control, patience, and courage, you develop a stable foundation that does not collapse when life becomes difficult. Lesson 7, prepare for difficulty before it arrives. The Stoics practiced a mental exercise known as premeditation of adversity. Instead of fearing the future, they imagined possible challenges ahead of time. This allowed them to approach life with readiness rather than anxiety. By anticipating difficulties, you become less surprised and more capable when they occur. This does not mean expecting the worst or living in fear. Instead, it's a practical form of preparation. This mindset makes your thinking sharper because it reduces emotional shock. You are not thrown off balance by unexpected events, you are already mentally prepared. This lesson is ruthless because it removes the illusion that life should always be smooth. The Stoics believe that challenges are natural and inevitable. By preparing in advance, you approach life with greater confidence and resilience. Lesson 8, time is your most valuable asset, don't waste it. Seneca repeatedly warned that people behave as if they have unlimited time, even though time is the one resource they cannot recover. The Stoics viewed time as more valuable than money, possessions, or status. This lesson encourages you to examine how you spend your hours, your attention, and your energy. The Stoics advised avoiding distractions, pointless conflicts, and unproductive habits. Time management becomes a form of wisdom, choosing meaningful actions over empty ones, focusing on learning, personal growth, and purposeful work. This lesson is ruthless because it forces you to confront your priorities honestly. It challenges procrastination and excuses. When you treat time as precious, every decision becomes clearer and more intentional. Outro plus call to action. Stoicism isn't just a philosophy, it's a practical system for thinking clearly and living intentionally. These 8 lessons can help you build a stronger mind, make better decisions, and stay grounded in a world full of distractions and uncertainty. If you found value in this video, consider subscribing for more content on philosophy, psychology, and self-development. And let me know in the comments which Stoic lesson resonated the most with you. Thanks for watching, and remember, your mind is your greatest tool. Use it wisely.